Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee, and today we're actually drinking matcha, which is delicious in its right, and I hope that you have your favorite warm beverage. But today I was curious about the difference or the kind of fair use versus copyright, and I'll tell you why. So recently, Kat Von D, whether you like her or not, was in a trial for using an image, or I guess was accused of plagiarizing an image of, I believe it was Miles Davis, and she created a tattoo. Well, the photographer of I guess a Miles Davis picture had sued Kat Von D for claiming copyright infringement. The court found her to be not culpable of the copyright infringement, claiming fair use due to, I believe, different medium, and that it was interpreted in her own way, in her own medium, and that it did not infringe upon the copyright. However, there's also a different case that has been going around the internet that is also of, I think there's like Lauren the Mortician, and I think it's like Jeanette Braun, and like she's a lawyer. Anyway, that is claiming like copyright infringement on just some really, really asinine sorts of things. And so it really got me curious as to copyright and fair use, and I was wanting to understand some of the basics. And so I'm sure you guys can Google this as well, but so copyright is the law's attempt to reconcile two different goals. On one hand, and this is coming from Harvard's website, of copyright and fair use, so I want to credit them with having this on their website. So if you are looking for this, I am not copywriting it, I'm not plagiarizing it, I am fair using it because this is part of my commentary, that copyright is saying that someone's personal and private property, that's saying it is theirs and their work. However, when we claim fair use is supposed to say that we have used it in such a way that it is going to be used in such a way. Hang on, I want to make sure I use it right. Because fair use of copyrighted material has to go for under certain critiques and tests. So, fair use is the right to use copyrighted work under certain conditions without those permissions from the owner of the work. So, we take the photograph of that Miles Davis picture, and we do not have to ask permission if we meet one of these requirements. That the purpose is not commercial or is for nonprofit or educational. That the, let's see, the purpose, let's see, to determine whether it's fair use, let's see, these factors must not include, I'm trying to make sure I understand it. So we have to make sure that we are teaching, that we are reporting, that we are commenting, or we are providing criticism. This includes copies for classroom, scholarship, or research, and it is not infringement upon copyright. So, when Kat Von D, utilized a picture that was not the one, like, she saw the picture, she created her own work, it is more of commentary of the picture. It is her interpretation on a different medium, using her own skills to create an interpretation that is then considered fair use. So now it does ride a fine line because, of course, we can always go to like Disney, and Disney will not let you use their items. They will not let you use depictions of their characters. But here, you can use fair use if you create your own version of a character with your own commentary, your own interpretation of these characters. You just can't use a movie still. You can't use those sorts of things. You can't create your own merchandise with pictures of these characters from the movies and from the other merchandise. But if you draw your own character that is not identical to what they already have, and that is going to be your critique and criticism, that is your commentary on this creation, then that is considered fair use according to this website. Now, again, this is my interpretation of what I'm reading, but it has to be transformative, whether it is commercial or non-commercial. So whether you are making money on it or not, the use of the quote-unquote copyrighted item must be transformative in some way. You have to have seen that it has changed from its original state into something new with a purpose or different purpose, different characterization, altering it with new expression, meaning, or message. And so I think that's really where it is the biggest factor of coming into play with a lot of these a lot of these critiques and criticisms. And I think that's where the Jeanette Braun and Lauren the Mortician's case is going to fall through, is when we look at a lot of these other individuals who are commenting and providing criticism and critique on these pieces of work, they are definitely furthering the purpose with different expression, meaning, and message by adding something new. They are transforming the works to be different than what was originally put out there. So that's where their case is going to fall through, and I think that's the same thing of where the case fell through with the photographer of Miles Davis and Kat Von D, the tattooist. So I don't know. I was just really curious as to what line we walk when it comes to these sorts of things, because it can be a very fine line. There is also, apparently, it's what percentage of the original work has been used? Is the portion used qualitatively very important to the work? And so there's very fine lines that also have to be considered as well. So I mean, I would love if you feel like anything you've ever put out there may ride a line. I don't often put out a ton of content that really has anybody else's content in it. I provide commentary and critique on various things, so I feel comfortable in being able to provide just additional commentary and transformative information to help convey, teach, and hopefully illuminate and educate on different topics. I am here with conversations and things of that nature, but I'm also here with the hopes that other people will use the little computer machine and continue their own lines of thought and thinking. I know that there is no one side to every story. I know that everyone has their own ways of thinking, and that is perfectly fine. But I would love to know your thoughts down below when it comes to these sorts of things. I think if someone were to take some of my writings or some of my poetry and probably copy them and put them on some sort of merchandise, I would be really upset. I would be like, hey, that's my stuff. But that would be different because that would be my words on someone else's merchandise, versus the fact that I've never really drawn anything, and except for a couple of little doodles of my puppies, or the merch that I've created for my little store. And I would be a little upset if someone had taken that and put it on their store, because I spent time trying to create pieces of merchandise that were pretty unique that I hadn't seen anywhere. So I just kind of wanted to know what you guys thought. If you've made it this far, please leave a comment down below, subscribe, what have you, and I will see you guys on the next page. Have a great one and have a wonderful day. Bye.